you guys test speak so I can see where the volume is?
I'm test speaking.
Yo.
I'm also test speaking.
All right, I'll raise that a bit.
I'll give you something to raise.
Oh, daddy.
All right. This is the energy.
Yeah.
That's how you start a show.
This is how you start the Save Before Quitting shows. It's a lot of weird, horny shit. Yeah.
Well, what does that say about you guys?
It says a lot and a little at the same time.
That we love gaming.
Yeah.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah. I guess this is our intro section of the podcast where we sound awkward for a second until we get into a actual conversation.
Go off on a tangent somewhere.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have two guests with us. We have both Brett and Josh from the Haptic Intel. They were kind enough to have this on their show about a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks now.
Like
2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
Time's a construct. And now we're having them on our show, in which we don't really have a structure, but we talk a lot.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes
That's good for a
cool.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's cool.
we're in the right medium for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was messaging these guys about coming on the show, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it'll be like probably 2 hours." Then Brett's like, 2 hours? What?
Well, because we only go for like an hour at the most,
Yeah,
maybe.
Brett and I we're super. I don't know if rigid is the correct adjective, but we have designated times that we have to get stuff done in, and we know we don't want to go too long. And then the flip side of that is like making sure we have time to edit it and put stuff together, and all of that. But you guys are on another level on ANT specifically. It's because you do what is it now? 72 different podcasts, or how many?
I'm up to 76 now.
76.
No, it's
Two more were added today.
4. Yeah, right. 4. 2. Yeah, it's going to be 4. One's coming out, but
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
That still hasn't. Is that close to coming out? Are we allowed to discuss it yet, or no? Are we not allowed to discuss your secret show?
not
Big announcement.
Not yet. I'd love to. I'd really, but I put it like this: if you like, for anybody listening, they like this show or any nerd cultured video game, anything in there, then you're a shoe-in for that show, for that audience.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah,
Nice.
Still
All
need
right.
to make
we're
a
supposed to be
logo for
shooting
that.
promo in September because my
Wow.
co-host was away, but it's coming together.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Busy boy.
Too
Yeah, you got shit to do today, and then I have to come over and we got to record games and shit, and hope to God that our shit works because I hate the Stream Deck or whatever the fuck it's called.
Man, you got a
Capture
Stream Deck early?
No,
Is that your
capture
one?
card. No, listen, I don't know.
Jealous, man.
Your Elgato thing? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, dude, it's a HD 60S, and it sucks ass.
That's what the
it's-
S stands for.
Yeah, it sucks ass
Just gonna
specifically.
say that. Yeah.
Dude, I hate it. We keep getting like weird glitches and shit. Like whenever like we're recording, like the gameplay audio will just be like, "Yeah, goodbye" after 5 minutes, and then like 5 minutes later, it'll come back
For a
and-
second, and then go back out.
Yeah, and I was googling it, and apparently it's like, yeah, just go back to the previous version of OBS link, and then you should be good. And I'm like, that shouldn't be the thing that solves the problem, but fine, and hopefully it'll work today. We'll see. But yeah. So how you guys doing? How's everything's going, life-wise and whatnot? You all have escaped the HQ and now in like real world situation.
I know, right? I'm not used to not seeing you guys in the HQ.
Yeah. A little different.
How's
Yeah.
H-Bot, dealing with you guys not being there right now?
Well, she runs an AI simulation of us every day, no matter what. So she
Gotcha.
thinks we're there.
Right.
Gotcha,
Right.
gotcha.
She's convinced herself that we're always there constantly. Although right now she's kind of on our shit list because last week, if you noticed, there was no podcast. We had a little issue with her overwriting some
man.
files that really fucked everything up. So we could release a single man show. We could just be Brett talking at nothing. But unfortunately,
Give the people what they want, Brett.
That's right.
Unfortunately, last week it was very heated with something. So most of it just me Brett sitting there like,
Yeah. I was just
listening to me rant.
just letting you go in pretty much.
Jesus. Well, maybe we can recreate the rant a little bit today, depending on what it was. Unless you guys want to save it for your show, well, it's fine. We can get heated. It's fine. I see that we do have a little piece of the HQ behind you, though,
Oh, yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, take a look at
little
this.
piece of that.
Yikes.
Very
For all you
flattering.
audio
amazing.
amigos, you're missing out on some quality content over here on the video. But that is from a series that you guys do called Unclaimed Baggage, which is super fun, and I guess not necessarily interview portion, slight interview portion of the pod. We'll get to that later on. But talk about Unclaimed Baggage for a second, because it's the most different thing on your channel, I'd say. And it's very reminiscent of a specific thing that Brett and I used to love in the past, and Josh was also a fan of. But how did you guys come up with that idea and now execute it as flawlessly as possible, as you have?
Well, I appreciate the flattering comments. I think Unclaimed Baggage started. I was on YouTube or TikTok, and I saw a video of a person like genuinely opening something they bought from this store called Unclaimed Baggage, and the whole premise of like, it's stuff that's being sold that was left behind by someone else, right? And it could be anything. You can go on their site right now and you can just see what they're selling. Like they have a primitive wooden spoon for sale, and it's quite literally just a spoon made of a stick. Why was someone carrying that on their luggage on a plane, right? Like that's the fun part about it. So I saw it and I was like, this is really cool. And I told Josh about it. And like you mentioned, huge fans of Rooster Teeth, Cow Chop, former YouTube channel. Really funny. They used to do a series called Amazon Prime Time, where they would buy gifts for each other and open them. So I kind of meshed Amazon Prime Time and Unclaimed Baggage together as a pitch for Josh, and he loved it. And we bought the gifts, and that was it. That's how dope. It came to be. Yeah.
Dude, it's such a fun time because, like, I remember back when I think it was you who first got me into Cow Chop, and like, if you're not familiar, we need to show you some videos.
I've heard of it, but I've never like delved into it.
It's some crazy shit, man. Like, there was the house era where like they
Best
were all
era.
in, like the best era, yeah. They were in a house together and just like making video game content, but also like fucking the house up and shit. And
it was like Jackass meets like a Let's Play channel, basically.
Exactly that.
Like it goes together pretty entertainingly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the what was it, the barn next? They were in a barn for like a month or two.
Well, they got kicked out of their house because they were like ramming doors with people's heads and shit.
Yeah. And then the milk in the bathtub.
They filled a bathtub with cereal and milk, and it caused a leak. And
they overflowed the septic tank.
Yeah.
Yep. There's shit
Probably
coming out of the
cereal.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there was that, and then the factory, or what did they call it? Like the warehouse. That was the big one, and then that's where they kind of ended. But they set the place on fire by accident a couple times.
By accident. Now, come on now. Alex literally took something on fire and put it inside of a couch.
Yeah.
I could see how that could be a mistake.
I mean, he did it on purpose, which was the funny part. And then like it went out of control real quick, real fast. And then everyone was still recording, and like you could see visual. They were all panicked, but it was a great. So don't set the HQ on fire is pretty much.
It's never a good idea.
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna move from the HQ to the barn?
Ooh, good question. I think we've gotten pretty comfortable at the HQ. I don't know if we're ever gonna leave.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, after last week.
We might update it. And remember, there's a lot of places in HQ nobody's seen yet. We've been in the theater, but there might be renovations going on there. I was in a garage once, if you remember, a workshop when I took apart that PS1.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of listen. You don't know. It's this little secret about how big it is, and we can't really tell you more than that. But
I was pleasantly surprised at the theater when I watched your guys. I think the PlayStation event, the last one.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. Seeing you guys in the theater.
I love that. I love little transitions like that. Like moving in and shit like that.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that soundbite for your next stream.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's your voice.
I'll bill you guys later.
Yeah. We're gonna have H-Bot use that sound effect instead of the one that we have been using for those.
Hell yeah.
Every episode is featuring you. This is that noise.
That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, we're glad to have you on. Obviously, since we're gonna be completely on. It's a Sunday, and some people got some plans after this, so we might keep this a little bit more tight of an episode. We'll see how that goes. Every single time we say that, it normally goes for 2-3 hours.
Yeah, every time.
Almost.
Have we hit 3? No, we did hit 3 before.
Yeah, we've hit 3. I think it was for an E3 event.
It was for that, and it was for when we did the spoiler Last of Us 2 episode.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That went very long when it didn't need to, but it's fine.
It didn't need to.
It didn't need to at all. But with that in mind, we will now roll the intro.
That was the most put together pre-show combo we've had in the history of the show.
And now it's not, because you're going to include that in the main show.
Yeah, I have to throw a wrench in there somewhere. We got to stay on brand somehow.
You're right.
Very cool.
All right, roll the intro. Cool. Whoop whoop whoop, and then song and stuff.
I'm keeping that too. Yeah, of course. Whoop whoop whoop. That's gonna be the whole theme song.
Just Zoidberg.
Yeah.
Right, Zoidberg.
I must say, I do like your guys' theme music as well. I got a little personal with it last week, which, by the way, thank you for that and accommodating us and 2 weeks ago when we put it in ours. But it's the first time I think I actually listened to the whole thing, like full out a couple times, and I was like, this actually kind of slaps a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
man. It's Ant's brother.
Good at what he does, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's your brother, Ant.
Yeah, my brother.
Oh shit, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's a he makes beats, and he's been doing it now since he was like 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I taught him how to do it, and he just took it and ran. So at this point, if I were to try to sit down with him, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to do this anymore. too removed from it, but he's killing it, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's won like competitions and shit too for like beats and whatnot, right? Like,
yeah, we used to go to like Atlanta every year, and he used to have these beat competitions, and he won like 4 years straight.
Damn.
Yeah, so
that's impressive.
So hey, anybody listening and anybody want beats, you need a beat for anything, I got you.
Yeah, AO got the sauce. And then you line this theme song up with that. Yeah.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, look at that.
You mastermind. Yeah.
I'll get him to pay me later as well too for that.
Pay you with a thanks.
That's about it. Yeah. All right. Who does the intro this week? Do you do it? Or, oh, is it me? Or do you guys want to do it?
You're gonna do our
intro?
I don't want the pressure. I don't want to mess it up.
No, yeah.
You got it.
Just say level up gamers and then welcome back and then say who you're joined by. That's it.
We're joined by you.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense.
Yo, what up? It's Haptic Intel.
Yeah, welcome to Save Before
People
Quitting.
who don't know Haptic are going to be like, what
the fuck?
Right show?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do the level up at least?
Sure.
Yep.
Cool. Do that.
Together? This is so
you can decide.
Well, no, because then we're going to have to count down.
This is the point of the podcast. We're supposed to be awkward as fuck. This is it.
Keeping it all.
Level up, gamers.
Yo, gamers, level up, cuzzy.
And welcome back to the latest episode of the Save Before Quitting podcast. As always, you can follow us at Save the Letter B, the number before quitting on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and follow us on YouTube, which spells out titty. Fun little word for you. Look at that.
Yep.
I like that.
Well, we do.
Oh.
We're all about that titty over here.
So you can follow us all there with the Save Letter B, number 4. And then you can also shoot us an email, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out, @gmail.com if you have a question, concern, giveaway, insult, or your social security number.
We're here for all of it.
Yes, and we'll take it in turn. You can also go to our website, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out.com. Buy this merch. Look at this hat. It's backwards in my video, but I'll fix it in post.
It's actually straight for me. Your hat,
really?
It's in the
You're good.
For me, it's mirrored.
For me, it's mirrored too. So I think when people see it, it's the other one.
In Zoom, it's good.
Yeah,
interesting.
Good, man.
Well, I'm just dumb then. But Ant has the same hat, but it has a red bill. Mine is a black and gray, and his is black and red. Look at that. Neato and stuff.
Gotta coordinate with my headphones.
Exactly that.
I did that completely by accident. That was not on purpose. I just noticed.
But yeah, so that's how you can follow all of our stuff. Shilling one last thing before we introduce our guests yet again. This coming, when does this come out? What's the date? The 26th. Okay, so next week we have a sponsored stream on Twitch and YouTube. We have been approved to be streaming the game Raid Shadow Legends, which I'm sure you've seen numerous memes about.
Everywhere.
But we will be playing that on our stream. There will be a link that you can use to download the game on your guys' phones and play through. and we'll keep it completely stack with you right now. If you play the game and beat the tutorial, we get a little bit of kickback so that we can put money towards Ant getting not a dinosaur as a PC. But if you don't want to, it's fine too. But yeah, we'll be live on the 4th.
You insult my computer again, it'll turn off and we won't be able to do this.
It's done that before. It's done it before multiple times. So
I don't want it to
matter.
hear. I'm gonna put headphones around the computer so it doesn't hear anything.
Jesus. But yeah, if you guys want to show up for that, 7 p.m. on Saturday, September 4th, we'll be streaming that for a couple hours. By a couple, I mean 4, because apparently I have to do 4 hours of that.
Long.
Maybe Ant will join me and play. I don't know if that's a thing you can do. I have to do some research. But yeah, we'll be doing some sponsored stuff. So that's the first sponsor of the show, surprisingly.
That's cool.
That's a thing. Sweet. So now, introducing yet again after that lovely intro of randomness.
You somehow missed the the intro for this intro.
True.
Not alone.
If you fast forwarded to the music section of the podcast, we are joined today by Brett Roberts and Joshua Tull of Haptic Intel. Again,
Haptic Intel.
add some cheering. We don't have a robot to do that, so do it manually. They have a dope YouTube channel in which they have a podcast every week where they put the podcast out towards the end of the week. They put little bite-sized pieces, fun size, if you will, at Halloween time of their different topics and discussions. Their indie intel, shouting out random games and stuff. And yeah, they're awesome dudes, and we're glad to have them here. So
Yeah,
thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Digital format. Yeah. So as always, we start this podcast with the same segment that you guys start your podcast with, which is, what did we play last week?
It's a good segment. I mean,
it's the only segment that makes sense to have on a video game podcast.
Yeah.
So
that way people know that you're an actual gamer and not just a poser. You know?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it doesn't help when we just say we play Apex, and that's the only game we say that we play.
Hey man, I've been playing some games this week. Some different.
I actually
games.
played video games this week, so that it works this time.
I got him to play games this week, surprisingly. We were supposed to play one of them together, but we didn't. But we'll get to that after you guys tell us what you played this week. Fight over who goes first.
I'll let Josh go first because
that's not much of a fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's played more games than me this week.
Fight was intense.
Well, this week, as always, I've played some Apex Legends with you, Christian. Your audience does understand how much we play that game, correct?
No, probably not.
It's like
Apex Legends comes up in every single episode of the show.
Yeah, almost
like
every episode.
It's a disgusting amount, and just to put it in perspective, I think this is a true statement for all three of us. We don't have another game that we've played with more hours in it than we do Apex Legends.
I believe
It's surpassed Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like we're probably all over about 500 hours or so, plus or minus a little bit. So
yeah, most likely
a disgusting amount. Just so your audience understands that. And then besides that, Pokemon Unite, which I'm still enjoying, even though they nerfed my main. It's fine. I'm a Crustle main now, which I'm enjoying.
Ant knows that Pokemon, right? Ant Crustle.
No, I know all of them, all 3,204 of them. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the exact number.
Wow, that's insane.
All right, Master over here. Caught them all twice.
Twice. You had to get the shiny form of each one. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what shiny is, right?
Yeah,
you know what that is.
I'm all about the shiny Pokemon on this side. I don't know what you be doing, Chris, but I'm all about the shiny stuff.
And then besides that, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, playing the Iki Island DLC, which is very, very good. I'm glad to be back in that game. It is gorgeous. I love it. I missed it. I forgot how slick it is. Well, didn't forget, it's just out of sight, out of mind. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. What I'm not enjoying is the $30 hole that's in my wallet now. From having to upgrade. I would have gladly paid $20 for the DLC, but make me pay $10 for an upgrade I feel like I should have got for free from PS4 to PS5.
I agree.
I don't like that, but besides that, it's fine. So I don't mind shelling out a couple extra bucks for it, but I would prefer not to.
I agree entirely.
Yes, for sure.
What about you, Brett? What you been playing? What you been doing?
So not really playing a lot of games, to be honest. but I did play Apex Legends this week. I did play some Pokemon Unite this week. Very similar to Josh.
Copy.
It's almost like it's almost like I don't play games unless I'm playing with him, right? It's weird. But no, I did play a couple other games with Josh. We hung out on Friday night and we played some of the new WarioWare game, the demo.
Dope.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they dropped the demo for that, like a shadow drop thing. And it's like interesting. I don't know how much you guys know about WarioWare, but
A lot.
it's different. It's really different.
Okay. We were thinking about recording some gameplay of it, I think today, just like for funsies, but
Nice. Well, this is a little preview. Shout out to your episode.
Preview
It was-
review.
Yeah, I'm
It was
interested.
all right. It was all right. You play as like
A
my
dog.
dog's. Yeah, my dog's. It plays like a dog.
Dog's playing in the other room.
Yeah. Sorry about that. No, so you actually like play as like the actual characters. So you play as like Wario, 8 volt, 18 volt, whatever the hell their names are, Ashley. So you play as each one of those characters, and they each have their own like movement and their own special ability. So when you're playing the micro games, it'll be like, pluck the armpit hair off this dude that has his arms up in the air. And as Wario, all you do is like fly around with a jetpack and rush forward. Like, how Wario does like the rush thing?
Yeah.
That's all he does. Then there's like the two ninja sisters from WarioWare. And when you play as them, all you do is jump up and down constantly and you can't control it. And like you shoot ninja stars. So it's really weird. Like each character has their own little thing. And you have to use that to beat the levels. And you can like choose who you want to play as. So you could either do everybody, like you can just randomly, it'll cycle between all the different characters, or you could choose like a loadout of 3 characters that you like and play the game like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, the cool thing is you can play 2 players at the same time, which is a first for this for the series. So good co-op game. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure we'll test that out later today after
probably.
I drive on down to the Save Before Quitting basement.
Doesn't roll off the tongue like the Haptic HQ.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Do you want me to go next, Ant, or would you like to take the stage of the games that you have played this week?
Well, first of all, I played games this week, so that's already leaps and bounds ahead of any other episode. And I played more than one, which is crazy.
Shocking.
I know. I played the Ghost of Tsushima finally.
Yeah, this is your first time too, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Very good.
I bought it, I think, last year, and then because Chris kept telling me about it, so I found it, bought it, never played it because I had a million other games on my backlog trying to get through. And then they announced this. I was like, all right, this gives me an excuse to wait even longer for them to put this out. And I finally that game is everything everybody said it is. There's nothing I could say that would be like
new.
Yeah, new. Because I'm looking at it like, this looks fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like the graphics are incredible. Gameplay is amazing, etc. It's everything everybody's already known about this game. I'm just happy to finally be experiencing it for myself. Other than that, I played Sea of Thieves with Chris last night. Chris and shout out to Nicole. We was playing Sea of Thieves. That was my first time playing that as well. I've been meaning to get on there with them.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot. Like it's one of those games where like I'm glad I'm playing with people I know, because I could see if I were playing with randoms or by myself, like I don't think I would enjoy it as much.
Mm-hmm.
But as we worked through it, you took me on all they're not called missions on there. What are they called?
Voyages, I think.
Voyages.
Yeah, we did like the first Pirates of the Caribbean mission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that was dope. That was dope. I look forward to jumping back into that. Other than that, I played Splitgate. Because I've been dying to play Splitgate because I kept hearing about it.
How is that? Because I'm very interested.
It's so good.
It's good. It's great. It's great.
It's so good.
And I'm not even first-person shooter guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. Because I ended up, I kept hearing about it. And then I hit up Chris. I'm like, have you heard of the Splitgate game? It's being talked about all over the place. He said, yeah, and he was going to download it. So we both downloaded it. We were supposed to play together one night, but I couldn't. And I ended
Why couldn't you, Ant? What happened?
Listen, is this a video game podcast or is it a video game podcast?
It's not a video game podcast.
Oh,
what
all right.
happened?
Well, in that case, yeah, I was supposed to play it. I downloaded it. I had a bunch of shit I had to take care of in the house. And then Chris texted me at like 11, like, hey, we're still on if you want to go. I'm like, all right, I'm putting my son to bed. And then after that, we can do whatever. I woke up in the maybe middle of the night. I was laying sideways, hanging off the side of my son's bed because I fell asleep while putting him.
I was like, Aunt died or something, man, but I'm just going to go to bed. It's fine. Then you texted me the next morning that, and I'm like, yeah, the tracks.
Yeah. Damn. But my first priority that morning was to play it, and I did.
Yeah.
What platform is it on?
Everything, right?
Everything, yeah. It's on.
It's free. It's free to play.
Yeah, it's in beta right now.
And they just announced
put it in beta indefinitely now, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say because of the success and the popularity, it's indefinitely in beta.
Yeah, man, it is such a good time. But
yeah, definitely get it. Definitely pick it up.
Plays like Halo with portals, right?
Dude,
exactly. It's Halo with portal.
It's Halo with portals, but then with the movement of Call of Duty almost. With like almost like a Black Ops 1 Modern Warfare 2 movement kinda. Like you're moving better than Halo, because in Halo you're kind of just like, I'm here and I'm a big lug. In this you can like run. I wish they had a slide function.
Oh, so that it's funny you say that. I was gonna mention that the developer of Splitgate has a TikTok. And all he does on there is shit on people's requests for features to be added. And the one I saw was one person said you should add wall running. And then someone else
thing I had. I was like, this game could use wall running.
Yeah, and then someone said if you could slide, and he just shits on people. He's like, we have to redo the whole fucking game if we did that. So it's funny.
I don't think so. No. That's fun. That's funny.
Because the services you'd be running on would have portals on them, right? So for the wall running thing.
Well, the wall running, yes, but the slide I feel like makes so much sense to add, because like it's such a good feature. But who am I? I'm not a game coder, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, is that all you got this weekend?
Yes, that's all I got.
All right. So similarly, I played Splitgate. That game is so much fun. I played it with my brother for about 4 hours the other night. It's so fast paced. And that's like the best part about it. And then the matches feel like they're short, but they're not. Like you go into a TDM and it feels like it's like 4 minutes when you're playing, but it's actually been like 10 minutes just because of how fast it is and how like, what's the word that you use a lot? Frenetic?
Yeah,
that one.
I don't know what it means, my favorite word.
It sounds like it makes sense in this situation.
No, frenetic's the word. Yeah.
Cool. But it's so fast. I haven't really used the portals as much as I should be personally.
Same.
Ryan's been loving it with the portals. He specifically said it's a kid with ADHD's dream video game, just because there's so much going on and it's like just so fast paced, and it like he's like, it's firing my neurons in a way that it has never before. Quote. Nice. And I'm like, okay.
And you're back to the action real fast. Like when you die, it's constantly going.
Yeah. The only complaint I have is there's like a grenade system where you hit down on the D-pad and you throw these grenades at the portals to make them go away. If like an enemy's portal is, you can see it, you're like, oh no, they're not coming through that, and you throw it and it dissipates it. There's no cooldown on your portals. So like you can just like spam your portals with like L1 and R1 as much as you want. So I'm like, that's kind of shitty how I can only get 2 grenades at a time, but the portals don't have a cooldown. Like, kind of weird, but
wait. So are those grenades strictly for the portals?
I believe so, but I think they also do damage slightly.
That makes a lot of sense, because I'm throwing grenades at people. I'm like, why are they not dying?
Yeah, I don't think it does
grenades
damage. Yeah,
going on.
But
it's weird that you use grenades to blow portals up.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's also like, what else would you do, I guess? Because you can't shoot it, because when you shoot it, your bullets come out the other side. So there's that. But it's an interesting feature. I'd like to see it looked at more. I'm not going to say it on that guy's TikTok, so I don't want to get railed. But yeah, also Sea of Thieves. It was fun until it wasn't, because after we finished the first mission, I forgot that we were online, and a ship came to us and started attacking us constantly.
But even that was kind of fun to me.
It was fun, but it was getting annoying because like we were just trying to get to the second mission, and they just keep sinking us. They sunk us like 3 times to the point where one of their crewmates came onto our ship, was repairing our ship with us.
Act like he's trying to help us.
Yeah, and he's like, guys, you gotta, this is Sea of Thieves. People are gonna attack him. Like, yeah, we know. We're just trying to play the campaign. Y'all are attacking. He's like, oh, my bad. Launches himself with our cannon back to his ship and then sinks us again. And like they broke our masts, which I didn't know was a thing in the game. Like they fall over completely now. And you have to like pull the strings back to like line them up, and then while you're doing that, another crewmate has to put the wood on it to make it so that it's fixed. And if you don't do that, it just falls back over again. And you can't lower the masts again. But it was fun until it wasn't, and they were being dicks, kind of, to be honest. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed. We're not doing this second mission.
The only annoying part to me was when he tried to explain to us that we were playing Sea of Thieves. I'm like, I know what the game entails.
Yeah, y'all are just being assholes because you choose to do this. But there was that. Apex, as usual, because obviously.
Wait, you played Apex?
That's all I do. I get home from work and I play Apex. That's pretty much all I do in this world.
I'm shocked. And
you should be. You should be offended as well.
Always. By you. Go on.
Do we want to bring up Little Jesus again?
No, we should never bring that up again.
Y'all didn't. Did you guys see last episode?
Anyone who wants to know what that means?
Not that part.
Listen to the intro of the last episode for anyone who doesn't get that reference.
Yeah, Little Jesus on
You'll never want to
SoundCloud.
hear Chris say that name ever again.
Oh boy. But yeah, Apex, Pokemon Unite. I'm still raging at that game because I feel like kids shouldn't be allowed to play the ranked section, and I'm getting pissed about it.
Kids shouldn't be allowed to play Pokemon.
They shouldn't be allowed to play ranked, man. They're ruining games, man.
Doing stuff.
Listen, I was playing with these guys the other night, and we literally had a Bulbasaur on our team just go walk the whole entire way, not attack anybody, and just go to the other team's spawn and just be there. He didn't help at all.
He stayed a Bulbasaur like the whole game, and that's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So it's rage-inducing, and little Timmy needs to get off his stomach and go eat his fucking Totino's pizza roll and not play the fucking game.
Just wait. When they can play it on their phones, it's going to be even better, dude.
Oh, dude.
That's crossplay too, and it's forced crossplay, right? It's not like something you could turn off.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, that's about all I've played this week. I just hopped into Ghost of Tsushima for like 10 minutes before we started recording. God, I love that game. And I'm very happy as well to be back into it. Yeah, I'm playing it on Japanese now instead of the English. So I'll report back in probably next episode when I finished it. Yeah.
When you have fluent Japanese learn, that's when you report back.
Hell yeah. I will do that.
I'm looking forward to the all Japanese episode of Save Before Quitting. So.
Nani? All right. So next, fuck off. Next up is the section of pretty much news stuff that people want us to talk about in our Discord. If you haven't yet, join our Discord. You can go to link in our bio on any of our social media, hit that join thing, and then you're a part of it. You can be a nerdy gamer, people. So yeah.
People.
You can be a nerdy gamer, people.
Yeah.
People.
Yes.
Cool. Alrighty, so let me pull this up real quick on this side of the screen, or probably my phone is a better option. Yeah, it definitely is, because I just completely covered y'all's faces for the video version. That'll be great to edit out.
Good job.
You don't need to see our faces. It's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Wait, did we do a formal introduction? Like as what Haptic Intel is?
I thought that was the intro. Or did we not?
I think we talked about the
Did I make a fucky wucky?
I'm half of a Haptic Intel.
Haptic Intel people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first section of the news: interviewing's Haptic Intel. Here we are. I made a fucky wucky. I didn't look at my notes and I went out of order. So
all right.
Here we are. Welcome to the show, guys, where structure is not existent. So yeah, Haptic Intel. Give us some backstory on what made you guys start this channel. What made you want to become a video game news/entertainment channel in general, and how you've evolved over the years after a hiatus into now being a duo. Give us the rundown.
Yeah.
Loaded question.
You want me to take it?
Well, I mean, we can go back and forth, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been a long and lonesome road. I'm gonna just start singing Tenacious D. Kidding. Yeah. So Brett actually recalls the inception of the channel better than I do. I don't really remember it, which makes me, I guess, a bad friend and partner. But what he says
You heard it here first.
Was that it was around the time The Last of Us came out, and we had a really long car ride. I believe we were going to Miami for like senior week all the way back in high school. Is that when it was?
I don't recall. I remember it was a long car ride. It was either to Miami or it was just like you and I going somewhere for like a 2 hour. It was like a 2 or 3 hour car ride. I don't remember.
Yeah. And having a really big discussion about The Last of Us, which I guess apparently, according to Brett, birthed this channel. Again, I don't really remember even that conversation or that game that much, to be honest. And then, yeah, we partnered up with somebody who is no longer with us anymore on the podcast. He's still alive, I think. Just
he is. Really he's bad. Very much alive. Yes,
he's alive. And then, yeah, we were with him for a while. We added a fourth who was Steven. For a while, we no longer talked to the original founder of Haptic Intel, who was with us, and then it was a 3-man show, and then we went on hiatus for a long time, and then when we came back, more recently, Steven didn't want to come back with us, which is fine. We're still very good friends with Steven. And yeah, it's just a 2-man show. That's a very junkated kind of version, I guess, of where we are. But Brett, did I miss anything? Did I add anything?
I could just add to it a little bit. So yeah, we, like Josh said, we started off as just 2 friends talking about video games. And then eventually we met a third friend that really liked video games as well. And we each had a different thing to offer. We decided to start a YouTube channel. What were we going to call it? The name Haptic Intel kind of originated from, haptic technology was up and coming at the time. It was like a big thing you were seeing with VR. And we kind of interpreted that as like, a feeling of touch. Right. And we wanted to, be on that same level with you, with the viewer, like, hey, we're gonna touch you.
We're gonna touch you.
Yes.
That doesn't get you on board. I don't know what's gonna get you on board.
Right, exactly. And our logo was a hand like this. So like
I remember that one.
We were pushing that. And then the Intel part is, we're talking about news. We're gonna give you guys news. We were kind of trying to be like a competitor to IGN in a way, which is ridiculous, but
daunting.
We actually, daunting. And we had some big scoops actually at the time that we covered before other people. Like at the time it was that game, The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
IGN was like, it's canceled. It's never coming out. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the creators of the game like tweeted like, that's a lie. It's not true. And we were like the first people to put a video up about it. So yeah, it was like a big scoop for us. We started off by doing reviews. A couple of Josh's earlier reviews might still be on the channel. A lot of the videos we had with our former partner, we had to take it down. But yeah, so like Josh's review of Wolfenstein, was it you did? Wolfenstein, the New Blood or Old Blood or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of how it started. We had a website. We would post all of our videos there. And over time, we would evolve and change. We did E3 every year. That was like a big thing for us, was making sure we could cover E3. And then even when we stopped making content for a little bit because of school and work and stuff, that was like a big reason we took hiatuses with school and work. We would still make sure we did E3 every year.
Yeah,
so that was a big thing for us. But yeah, man, we're just guys that like to talk about video games, like to play video games and hang out and have a good time. So we figured why not do that and do it with an audience of people that are interested in the same stuff, kind of like you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And you guys brought this up on like your episode, but it's very strange how like y'all's history and ours like weirdly lines up to like the started with 3, now are 2, did this, went on break. Like it lines up weird, but at the same time it's like it's a very cool parallel to see, because now we're in this space where we're like tag teaming like the two sides of it. It's like y'all are just
exactly
the fucking intel, like you're on the fucking pulse, and then we're over here like, hey, we're goofy, look at that pulse, it's funny, like, but like we both have our own thing, and it's really cool to see. And I'm glad that you guys are finding success, because like y'all deserve it with the amount of fucking work y'all put into your channel. It's insane.
Sure.
Like when you guys came back with the HQ, I was so shocked. And like I know you have like this, not to break the fourth wall a bit, but like this like it's the HQ we're in, blah blah blah. Like, but like, what went into like figuring that out and moving into this new like digital space? Like, what? Obviously, we kind of know what caused you guys to move to the digital space because the world exists.
Mhm.
But like, what really gave you guys the idea to make the HQ, and like, what went into like that work and like figuring this all out?
HQ's idea, or moving to, well, to back up, like you said, we did the digital format as a function of that we physically weren't going to be able to be in the same location because of the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
And then from that, it was Brett's idea to like, let's make like some kind of virtual set and like get green screens, and we're breaking kayfabe right now, but
Yeah,
oh well, and get green screens.
it's
and,
all
like,
real.
and do this thing. And so he kind of like designed it and made some assets for it. Like I did some composites with like videos and stuff we went back and forth on, added like moving images and stuff in the background. We had this, H-Bot idea as like a third, which we haven't utilized that well, but it's hard because the system that we used to create that is down, and it has been for a really long time. And there's just nothing that's as good as that. So we've been Frankensteining together voice lines of like a whole catalog I made at the beginning for like very specific things. And like, but I guess with the HQ specifically, we took a lot of inspiration from Dr. Disrespect as well. And we wanted to elevate our kind of production quality. We got better webcams and things like that. And it really allows us a lot of freedom as a small channel to do things that look expensive, but are really not. They're just kind of time consuming. And I always like to go back to
Name of the game.
yeah. The what you see, which is not always perfect, and we may still make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes it's like, well, it is what it is. We have to put it out. It's a lot of work, and Brett worked really hard to create a lot of that stuff, and I've worked very hard. So there was even some people that gave us feedback or criticism at the beginning, which we're always responsive to, that are like, oh, why don't you do this, 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 and this? And why aren't you doing it this way, or why can't you do this way instead? It's like, yeah, dude, like I've thought about all these things, but it's very difficult to actually put into action. So
Everybody,
we're going to take it baby steps at a time and do little by little. And we have added other sets. We can live stream from two different locations into one location with HQ with full production quality. We did a fucking Let's Play series live from two different locations so it's like there's a lot of stuff that we have worked very hard on incrementally to get to that point where we can do it. And yeah, I just feel like I just got heated for no reason.
You did get really heated.
Yeah, I was starting to see that. I was like,
I
oh,
can really understand it. That's like, because you're passionate about what you're doing, and it takes a lot of work. And people who are just seeing it from the outside, like, well, they should just do this, as if you could snap your finger and make it all perfect.
Exactly. Right. I think that's why we kind of keep that kayfabe up too, Josh, because it's like, it's almost like an in-joke. Like we're joking. This isn't real. We're not really in this location. But it kind of excuses any mistakes that we make too, because it's like tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
Right.
So when we're breaking out of our green screen boundary and my arm just gets cut off because it's that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just creating our own reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's like so fun about it too, because like y'all are like very tongue in cheek and like fun about the videos, and like it's just a good time overall. And that's the thing. Like you're not concerned about being IGN anymore, if that makes sense. Like back in the day, like I remember back when you started, like I would watch along very much so. Like every E3 stream you guys had, I was in the chat,
which we appreciate greatly, by the way. Still do.
I mean, I'll support what I can. This is the thing. And plus, like I was watching E3 anyway, so it's like, why would I not want to watch it with my friends? Like I can't be with you guys because obviously y'all are doing something, but I'm technically with you guys, so it's like in turn works itself out.
That was the whole point.
Yeah. And it's cool to see because like you've shifted a bit where it's like we want to be this like IGN, like we want to give you the news to like we're giving you the news, but we're doing it on our own terms, and we're loving the way we're doing it, and we don't give a fuck what you think about us. And that's my favorite thing, because another thing that's abysmal slightly is some of the people that are in your comments that are just like the note, like the actually guys. And I always love to see it because like y'all troll along with them, and like I'll even fucking every once in a while I'll be like, hey, fuck you to the guy or whatever. But it's this very like, we don't care if you like us, but if you do, thank you and stick along. And that I like that attitude, and I appreciate that very much. So
we've kind of intentionally adjusted that way for a while, because like initially that was the goal, right? Is like, oh, we want to like report and do this thing which we enjoyed, but then it got to the point where it's like, we just can't produce it quick enough where it's even relevant. So like, why don't we just take news stories that we want to talk about, like things that we actually want to discuss, and give our opinions on it? And people are always like, do your research, like blah blah blah, like it's actually this, or actually, like you said. It's like, no, like we do our research, like we have the information, but that we're not presenting you all of the facts, because that's not what the discussion is about, right? The discussion is about our opinion on it. And, you know, a lot of times, for me specifically, I'm wrong, and I get that, and I don't really care. And I say that too, even as I'm saying, it's like, I know this is probably wrong and you disagree, but this is my opinion. And you can either take it or leave it. And if you want to leave it, great. Like, I don't really care. But if you want to take it, also great. And also understand that you don't have to agree with everything I say to even enjoy our content. Because tell you from knowing Brett too, is he disagrees with a lot of things that I say, a lot, because that's just the way it is, and that's fine. And we're still best friends, and we can still have a conversation about it and understand where each other are coming from, which I wish was more so with some of the people that decide to jump on their keyboards and put on their, you know, their keyboard best of armor and just become warriors.
I think it's important too to do that. Yeah. Because I don't want you to constantly get shit on, and I want to at the same time like pose a different point of view, right? So even sometimes when I do agree with Josh, I will take a different stance just so that we don't seem one-sided in the conversation.
Shoot the devil's advocate out there, you know.
Yeah. I think that honest dynamic is important though. Because a show can be, if it's just two people agreeing with each other the whole time, sometimes that can get, if there's nothing else to bring to the table, and this isn't even talking about our show or your show, just generally, if there's two people delivering the same information and just agree, and there's never any pushback or a difference in opinion, that can get kind of boring. It's almost like you're just talking at people at that point.
Yeah. It's an echo chamber of the same thought.
Right.
Know?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Do you have any questions, Ant?
I don't know if I have any questions. I just kind of want to just not, what's the word? I'm a fan pretty much now. So now when you guys put out anything, I'm like, oh, I got to go watch that. That's when again, I brought up the PlayStation event was happening. I'm like, I'm definitely going to watch it with them. I'm not going to go to like IGN or GameSpot or Sony or wherever, because I like kind of how I said just now, like the dynamic. I like the conversation. I'm more into the conversation about the news than the headline at this point. And you guys give off that dynamic, and that's what I'm attracted to when it comes to my media. You know what I mean? So I look forward to anything you guys put out. And I just kind of want to just applaud Haptic Intel, man, because like Chris put you guys on, put me onto you guys, and so you gotta check them out. You gotta check them out. He sent me your YouTube page, and ever since then I was in. So
we appreciate that.
We really do appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
So
thank you guys.
It's all love here. We all love each other. Love is love.
Absolutely.
And such. That being said, we do need to work on a series together. I've been pitching this in a couple episodes to Ant. I don't know if y'all have caught it in any episodes or not. I have this idea in my brain space in which we go head to head at games. Us two versus you two. But there needs to be something on the line. So we need to work on
the keys to HQ. You twisted my arm.
Hey.
Okay.
But in my head, here's the thing. Brett and I, we are as what some people might refer to as marks.
Smart marks.
We are smart marks in the wrestling space. Also, just as a side note, CM Punk is back. AEW confirmed. I cried. Anyway.
Wait, what?
CM Punk to AEW confirmed.
Oh, that's crazy.
Shut the fuck up. Motherfucker. I cried as a grown man watching a grown man come out at a wrestling event. Listen.
Hey, man.
I'm not going to judge you for that. You ain't got to qualify it to me. Look, I'm all wrestling. I'm all Pokemon. I know it all, man.
And with that knowledge, we got to get some belts on the line. and we need to go 1-on-1, and we need to see who gets those belts and who's the champion of games, of the gaming space. And we'll work on this further in the future. But this is the proof of concept that we're gonna be the champs. We're gonna hold those belts, and y'all ain't ever gonna see the gold.
Is he cutting a promo on us right now?
I think he literally is. And
on his podcast?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Smell
well,
what I'm
accepted.
cooking and such.
I smell it.
And
Because
such.
you can't see the belts.
Yeah, I do smell like
such.
I do smell what you're cooking.
What's it smell like?
A crock of shit.
But yeah,
It's all right.
look forward to that in the future, people who are listening. I think that needs to happen, whether it be in person at arcades, 1v1s, whether that be digitally for like old games. Ant and I recently just played NBA Jam against each other, whether it be those, but these belts need to be on the line in a tag team tournament of sorts, and we'll get those physical belts at some point, and we'll do that. So,
all right, you're on.
All right,
and I'm going to cut a pipeline promo on you in the next episode of Haptic Cast. So be ready.
You better. I'm waiting on it.
All right.
Alrighty. And with that, shout out your channel, because we didn't technically do that yet. I mean, we did, but also we didn't. So tell the people where they could find you before we move into the news.
Okay. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Haptic Intel. We're not on Twitch. We do have a Twitch, but we don't really use it. We're more YouTube guys. So twitch.tv/Haptic Intel if you're interested in just following us on there. And then the most active social media we have is Twitter at Haptic Intel. You can find us on there. We're always tweeting, specifically on our personal accounts that are linked on there. So definitely follow us on there.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And go follow them. Go listen to their shit. And if you don't, fuck you.
You will
anyway.
not be disappointed.
Yes.
Or fuck you, as Chris said.
Yeah, fuck you. If you don't listen, fuck you. Yeah. That's just the way it is. So welcome to the news section, in which we discuss, which I said previously in the podcast, but forgot to do the section in which we interview, because I'm bad. We go to our Discord and we listen to the people that send us stories and things they want to hear us talk about and discuss. This week on our Discord, there have been some events and leaks and stuff that have happened, and some fun stuff as well. Starting off with one of them would be, according to Tom Henderson, a well-known Call of Duty and Battlefield leaker, a new Twisted Metal game is now scheduled for 2023. Now, I'm personally excited. We've been hyping up Twisted Metal and saying that we need a new Twisted Metal for like half a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very excited to see what this could be.
Yeah. It's a beloved PlayStation franchise that kind of got left in the dust, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally have no idea what Twisted Metal is, which, I know. You've
never played any?
Nope, I've never played any of them. But what I do know is that David Jaffe is the original creator of Twisted Metal, and he tweeted out last week, maybe I think last week, that he would be very upset if PlayStation didn't talk to him about it since he created it. And I doubt they probably have, which I don't think PlayStation has any kind of obligation to. I think he's more so just saying he would have felt it would have been good or nice for him if they reached out since he was the original creator. But
damn,
I agree. You said you never played Twist. Did you play that? What was that Destruction Derby game? It was not really Destruction Derby, but
Destruction All-Stars.
Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah,
it's that, but you can't get out of your car, and your cars have guns,
and it's edgy.
And
it's dark.
Yeah, I've only played what's the Sweet Tooth? I've only played Sweet Tooth in
PlayStation All-Stars.
All-Stars Battle Royale.
I thought you were going to say in Rocket League.
Whatever. Oh, no. I also have his car in Rocket League, yes, but no.
Yeah. But yeah, that's very exciting. I'm tempted to see if we can get our hands on an original copy of Twisted Metal and see if we can get your reactions of that, because it was a very fun game back like when we were kids and shit, and it was definitely not a game that kids should be playing.
No.
It was very violent, but it was.
I played it though.
Yeah, I played the hell out of that, and I used to love that. The best one was always the little motorcycle guy, because your hitbox was tiny as fuck. so nobody could hit you. You would just like drive around and be like zip zop
But when
around.
they did, though, your defense was super low.
True. It was surprisingly balanced for like an old ass game. But yeah.
And it was multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-player. I think it was 2-player. I don't know if there was more than that because there was a PS2 one, right? Or no?
There was a PS3 one too.
Yeah, Twisted Metal
Oh,
Black.
yeah.
Was that PS3?
I think that was PS2.
That was PS2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that was on PS3 was it was like hyped up, and I think they announced that it was going to be released on Valentine's Day or something, and that was like the big thing about it. So yeah, I don't remember it doing too well though, the PS3 one.
Well,
Hence why they haven't made another.
yeah, that's probably why they also had what's his name in PlayStation All Stars as well, most likely. But
Yeah.
here we are. Hopefully coming soon in 2023. I hope to see more about it. Probably won't see anything till probably next E3 or next Game Awards at least, but it's still cool to see. But,
I mean, it would be dope if it just showed up out of nowhere in the Game Awards.
yeah,
But
that's still coming up later this year too, right? Yeah. So,
or even a PlayStation Experience if they ever decide to have another one.
yeah,
supposed to be this month. There's still rumor in it for this month, but no, it went from the 12th to the 19th. I don't know when it's going to come now.
yeah.
Well, let's see. Today's the 22nd, and they usually do them on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this Thursday left to have one in August.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, now I'm starting to think it's not happening this month.
Yeah, probably not.
I'd say maybe not next month, but the month after that.
Yeah, and we talked about this on an episode of our podcast that was lost. We talked about this a little before the show started. And the one thing that we like kept dwelling on was the fact that Jaffe wasn't even like talked to about this. And then another guy, I think, what's the guy's name? Henderson?
Tom Henderson, yeah.
Tom Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson.
So he tweeted afterwards and he was like, unfortunately, it looks like this is like a true rumor. Like it is going to happen. Like it sucks for Jaffe. Like this is definitely happening basically. So yeah, it really sucks for him. He's still a big like name in the game industry. He has a podcast where he does, I mean, that's probably why he's not being tapped to like talk about this project. So
he's been kind of unfortunately like semi-canceled in like the gaming sphere. Even though he hasn't done anything wrong. Like I listened to his show, like he's pretty genuine and he's like a super like lefty too, like very progressive, but he challenges people and like is very opinionated. And unfortunately that equates to getting shit on a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to hear more soon about that. But next in the news, there was a event this week for Pokemon in which we saw multiple Pokemon news for the 25th anniversary for different games. There's some stuff for Go and what was the one Cafe Mix?
Yeah.
What the
They're
fuck that
updating the
is.
name.
Is that what it was? I skipped it, like, because I was like, I don't care about this shit. Okay.
They're changing the name.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. But the big news is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Arceus are all on time. All the rumors of anything getting pushed back.
Untrue.
So
Apparently.
there's that. We saw more gameplay of all the games. They've added a bunch of new stuff to Shining Pearl and Diamond that weren't in the originals at all.
Right,
that was very cool to see now that it's more like there's more reason to buy it. Like,
what are the new features? Because I turned it on late. I was working, but I turned it on and they were already at the Arceus part.
So there's the underground dungeon stuff, which I understand has been there before, but you can like decorate these like underground bunkers, which might affect the Pokemon that spawn in these underground areas. There's like a battle dojo type of thing where you can battle other players. And you can decorate your Pokeballs in it now. I feel like I'm missing one other thing. Brett might know.
Yeah, so they basically expanded on a bunch of features that were already in the game. So like Josh said, the underground base function where you could go on and like mine for minerals and stuff, that's all still in the game. And then you'd be able to make a secret base. And you and your friends would be able to run around and then go in each other's bases and stuff. But now you can actually put statues into secret bases. And depending on what statue you put in there determines the type of Pokemon that spawn in this new area. And certain Pokemon are only available in that secret area. Yeah, so that's the new thing that they're doing there. And then the second thing Josh said was the dojo, which used to be local only. Now it is online. So that's cool. Yeah. And then there's the Pokeball decoration thing where you could put little stickers on Pokeballs, and when you throw the Pokemon out, little like whatever sticker you put on there like explode
like
out of
confetti
Pokeball.
and
Little
shit.
flourish comes out of it.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. They expanded on that. And then the last thing is the Pokemon contests, which almost look more like a Dance Dance Revolution thing now, where you
I
have
was
to like
gonna
hit the
say
button.
that. It looks
Yeah.
bad, man. No
Yeah, I don't know what
offense.
the fuck is
It
going on.
looks like
with
the dancing mini game from the Yakuza series.
that. Yeah, that's just
That's
ridiculous.
accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, did they introduce that in Diamond and Pearl in the old days for the competition? Because I remember doing it in Ruby and Sapphire a lot, but it was like you would just look cool and like feed it berries and shit.
It was like a fashion contest before it, and then it turned into like a move thing, I guess. I don't know.
That's weird. I mean, I feel like the coolest thing of that all is just the base and being able to like have your friends now and then spawn the Pokemon you want, which is pretty cool. And obviously online play is a given. If they didn't do that, I'd be very confused. But yeah, very, very cool. Very, very awesome. Will you boys be getting this on release, or is this like a thing?
I've never played this gen back in the day or played them, so I will be getting them at launch. I'm excited to play, which is why I'm so happy that they're like re-releasing and doing all this stuff with Pokemon, because I really missed the boat on it as a kid. So I'm getting to experience it now for the first time. And I know people shit on like Sword and Shield, but Sword was like the first like Pokemon game that I like actual big boy Pokemon game that I fully played and beat, and I loved it.
Yeah,
and
fun.
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, I played and beat and loved it. And I know it's a very simplified version of like the original, but I loved it. So I'm super excited for it.
I'm feeling the same. Like I didn't play Diamond or Pearl. I stopped at Gold and Silver, so that was the second generation. And with these being, like you said, re-released, it gives me more reason to kind of jump back in. I'm definitely getting Arceus on the first day, because that looks like right up my alley. It looks like some Zelda ass Pokemon game, and I'm like, yep, I'm all 100% in. Let's do it
for sure.
And
it looks wild.
And so I'm not sure I'm gonna get Diamond and Pearl first day, but I'm definitely interested, because I haven't played a traditional Pokemon game since Gold and Silver. So I mean, it looks good. So
yeah.
But my relationship with Diamond and Pearl is interesting because I started playing Pokemon with Gen 1, but I was so young that I probably didn't even know how to read really, right? So I was just playing the games and like enjoying it. Then Gen 2, I like actually knew what I was doing, but still really young. Gen 3 was the one where like I played the shit out of it and I like beat the whole game, right? So Gen 4, I was at the proper age where I was there speculating before the game was even out and like watching leaks come in of the starters and shit, right? So at the time, it was me and my friend Alvaro, my childhood friend Alvaro. We were speculating on what the name of all the starters would be, because they would release like a silhouette and they wouldn't actually show you what they looked like. So they did Piplup, the penguin Pokemon, and his Japanese name was Pochama. So for years, I still called him Pochama because I was like a part of that whole initial speculation.
Right.
So I just have like a weird connection with Gen 4. And also it has like a ridiculous amount of legendaries in it and cut content that I was using Action Replay and shit to access. So
those were the days doing that.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably going to get it day one as well.
All right. Do you guys have a preference of which one you get? Like which legendary version you like better?
Yes.
Which one are you going for?
I think Diamond is the one I'm going to get. Yeah.
All right. I was thinking more Pearl. I like the design of Pearl better. I like the Godzilla-esque nature of it.
Palkia.
Yeah, I don't know names. I'm bad at the names of the legendaries, but I think he looks cool. Either way, both are awesome. I'll probably also get day one, and then I'll bully Ant into getting it day one, and we'll see what happens.
Ant has to get the opposite one, so that
I'm about to say whatever you get, I'm gonna. If you're getting Pearl, I guess I'm getting Diamond.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
there it is.
I'm gonna break out the link cables on the podcast.
There you go.
All right. So then the biggest news, obviously, Arceus, or Arceus as they're calling it now, which
that's bullshit, by the way. His name was fucking Arceus.
It was Arceus in the anime. It was Arceus like everywhere that.
And we used to correct people. We used to be like, Arceus, what the hell are you saying? But now they're right. No,
they're rewriting history.
Yeah, some Berenstein Bears bullshit. But yeah, man, this trailer was very, very awesome. We got to see some cool regional variants for this area. Some stuff that it's kind of weird to me in a sense because it's like technically this is kind of a prequel if you think about it to like the Pokemon world, and all of these Pokemon that are variants to this area don't exist in actual Pokemon, which is weird, but
It
whatever.
went extinct, dude.
Duh.
Sure. But yeah, we get some ways to get around the map with one of the flying Pokemon. I don't know what his name is because he was in a generation I didn't play. The hang glider guy.
Braviary.
Yeah, that is he any different from the regular version, or is it just
He's
him?
psychic type now.
Okay. And then we get the fish to swim, and the darkest Pokedex entry ever of he only turns into this form when all of his brethren die when trying to go upstream.
Don't you do that?
No.
Everyday stuff right there.
Sure. And then the Stantler, right, is what it was, and it's a variant of him, and you get to like ride around like a horse on him, which is really cool. And then there was a couple other variants they showed with like Growlithe.
Growlithe, though, man.
Yeah.
Arcanine's gonna look tight.
Right.
What's he gonna look? He's gonna look like Shaggy Rogers, dude.
I think he's gonna look like a traditional like Chinese dragon-esque dog, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because this is what period is this based in? Like, is it Edo? I've been hearing people say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Edo. It's the Edo era. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the Edo era, and like I could see that. That'd be pretty cool. I'm curious to see if it's just these guys or how many variants they do in general.
Well, interesting to note, every one of them so far that they've shown off has been one that you can use to like move. Like the flying one you mentioned is the hang glider one. The fish is the one that you ride on the back of, you know. The Growlithe is the only one that they've shown, to my knowledge, that you don't necessarily like use as a key item.
True.
Right?
I'm curious if you could maybe even switch out them and be like, Growlithe is your riding Pokemon now, because I mean, once you evolve into an Arcanine, it's just a big dog pretty much that you could ride on his back. But I mean, that looks cool. Yeah. I'm digging it. It's definitely a day one purchase.
Yeah, that's without a doubt.
It's like boss battles in it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna sink a lot of time into that.
You can get hurt by the Pokemon now.
Killed by Pokemon.
That was craziness. I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can get my ass kicked. Hell yeah. I'm gonna go fight Gardevoir and then have her kick my ass. You know.
Oh well, I know you have ulterior motives there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Grab
You'd
me.
be able to throw punches, just punching Pokemon in the face.
That is interesting. Why aren't you able to attack the Pokemon back? Is that like an animal abuse thing, you think?
Yes.
I'm sure they don't want that kind of problem at Nintendo. That you just video footage of you punching.
I should be able to backhand the Pokemon away, man.
Heat is already unhappy with Pokemon because you're having them fight each other, right? So
True. All right. Well, it looks like a great time. The whole event was very well put together and very short and sweet. But
wait. Do you think if you were to beat up enough Pokemon, like throw punches at enough Pokemon, that you would evolve?
That's why they don't want you to fight Pokemon. They're holding us back.
Yeah, man.
You just grow 2 more arms.
You become a Machamp. Yeah. That's how Machamp was actually. This is the origin story of Machamp. You play as.
He was just a guy named Mark, and he went and started playing.
Mark Champ.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Mark Champ.
Oh man. Well, that is a thing that is happening. Moving forward from there, we got some meme stories from the Discord about a good old game that the Haptic guys love entirely with their whole hearts of Fortnite.
It's a false statement. That's an inaccurate statement right there. That's fake news.
That is fake news. But with Fortnite, you have to at least give the respect where respect is due for getting characters like Rick and now Morty in a mech suit as main characters in their game.
Wait, I have to give them credit for stealing money from little kids?
Yes.
Okay.
To be fair, in turn, they're stealing money from their parents, so technically Fortnite is innocent, legally.
They're the Robin Hoods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for
Robin Hoods of gaming is Fortnite. It's epic.
Yeah.
I will at least give Fortnite credit that they are super consistent with updating stuff. They're constantly adding new things, and like they're doing unique stuff within the game that a bunch of people are copying now, and they were like the first that kind of did it in the space. So
Hold on.
What?
I already know what you're about to say, Brett.
Now, Fortnite is copying other games. They're stealing the idea for Among Us. I don't know if you saw that.
Imposter.
Oh, that I know, yeah. But I meant like the events, the concerts, like the revealing stuff in the game is really cool and unique. And I don't know, so I give him credit for that. Although I'm apprehensive to say anything positive about Mr. Tim Sweeney. But besides that,
yeah, but yeah. I feel like Fortnite, it's a double-edged sword. So like one of those things where like you respect them, but then you're also like you're doing some shady shit at the same time. And I don't know if I'm
equating your battle with Apple to civil rights movement, right?
That, yeah.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Yeah, it got to a point where it's like, okay, guys, but I like to see what they're doing. It's very interesting as well because like they've also adopted the pinging system and they took that from Apex, which is interesting to me. And then so did Call of Duty. They took that as well. It's weird because at first everyone was stealing stuff from Fortnite. It seemed kind of like with the battle royale favoritism. Like, I mean, to be fair, the battle royale game mode, I'm not gonna say is a thing you could steal from because a lot of people thought that they stole that from H1Z1 and shit, and then PUBG.
Right.
But like when it comes to like simple stuff like map updates and like live updates on the map, like I feel like Apex should be doing this by now and they're not. And there's got to be a reason they're not. They do it every single time with cinematics, which is kind of confusing to me. Like they definitely have the processing power to be able to do a live map change. Fortnite can do it. They can literally have JJ fucking Abrams show up on a Millennium Falcon with Jeff Keighley to show the trailer of the last Star Wars movie. Yeah. You're telling me that fucking Apex or Warzone can't do that shit? They have to cut to a fucking cinematic?
Apex is so, as we have seen, slow to implement large changes in their game. Yeah. They do it super incrementally and like piecemeal and it almost to their own detriment. But I feel like there's been so many issues with that game. I'd rather them not do it because I'm afraid they would really break something bigger like they have in the past.
They've done that multiple times.
I was about to ask, is that necessarily a bad thing for them?
No, it's just one of those things where I'd like to see more, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to sound greedy because it's like they're already giving us a lot of content, but it's like it reminds me of like how Overwatch would used to do the hero animations and like the actual like really well put together Pixar type shorts of like the characters, which they don't do anymore, pretty much.
Do they do Overwatch anymore? When the hell's Overwatch 2?
Right.
Okay.
That they had this whole thing for.
Yeah, that's a good question, Ant. Where the hell is it?
To be fair, they came back with they did a new event for Overwatch 2 and then all the shit happened.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense where it's going now. It's like, yeah, obviously we're not going to be fucking put this game out anytime.
Jeff left and then I think Brett mentioned that something else happened where they like talked about delaying it internally or something.
Yeah, I read that it was actually going to be possibly pushed back to 2023, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, because when did that initial trailer come out? Was it the year before?
6 years ago, I think.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to play that when it comes out now. Because, like, I feel like Overwatch in and of itself is becoming tired. Like, I probably like 2-3 months ago, I got back into it for a little bit. And it just didn't feel the same. Like, playing with friends is definitely, like, a fun time. But, like, just getting in there and playing and like doing the events. It's the same events every year now because they're just reusing the shit from previous years. There's no special like game modes anymore. It's the same ones that we've already played the first year it came out, like back when we used to play. Like it's tired and it's old and it needs to be taken out behind the shed.
I just think since they got here, so many more people, so many more games have come into that lane that Overwatch seems old by comparison. They would have to come back with so much shit.
I think they might have missed their window on it because they're not changing too much with the second game, right? It's almost like, which we've talked about in the past, seems like a DLC or like update. Yeah. And I know they're adding PvE and some building out some other stuff there, but it's like they might have missed their sweet spot. And then you throw on everything on top of that's going on with Activision Blizzard, and they're in a very bad spot that maybe you just go away for much longer and figure something else out. I don't know.
I feel like they'd have been, if Overwatch 2 would have came out last holiday season, I think they'd have been good. They'd have got right in there before these other games came out, plus obviously before the Activision thing happened. Like that would have been a great time for them to drop.
And I mean, look at game releases that are coming up, like Halo Infinite. We're now finding out that certain features aren't coming at launch,
Right.
Which it's a shame, right? It sucks. But with Overwatch, if they were like, listen, the multiplayer is pretty much just a 2.5, or 1.5 even of Overwatch 1. We're going to release the multiplayer first, and then the PvE stuff that is making this game get delayed, we're going to release that later. I would have been happy with that.
Yeah,
in Overwatch's case, right?
Yeah,
sure.
So,
but like, it's dead. But
yeah,
Rick and Morty are alive and well in Fortnite.
Hey, and I want to give credit to Apex because you mentioned the Pixar shorts that they would do for Overwatch. Apex, I don't know if you caught this, Christian. I know you're a big animation fan. They had the guy who did, if you remember, Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Zima, one of the most popular shorts on there, really striking animation style.
Yeah.
They had the same guy that did that do Sears video.
That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So they kind of spent some cash on that.
Oh, fuck
assume,
yeah.
You know?
I thought it looked similar, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But hell yeah, man. That's fucking dope.
Yeah. So
if you haven't
at least
seen
they're
Love,
trying
Death,
with
and
that.
Robots, go see that because that's a fucking good time, man.
Love, Death,
yeah.
and Robots is great. I think I've watched that. I watched the first season so many times before the second one came out. Then the second one came out, I felt like I just watched it maybe once, and I feel like the first season still stuck with me more than the second season.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
And there was more too, right? In the first season?
Yeah.
Second season was super short.
It was really short.
But moving on. Next, in the news. This
We
is
got
from
the other guy from Fortnite that's coming.
Oh yeah, Will Smith's also
Will
coming
Smith
to
is
Fortnite.
coming to Fortnite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
From Bad
It's like
Boys
the-
1 specifically.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. Because it's Fortnite.
Why that one specifically?
I don't
Why
know.
not Hancock? Like, why not?
Dude, I was saying fucking Men in Black. Literally,
Yeah,
he's just a
Men in
guy in a
Black.
suit.
Isn't the theme of Fortnite right now like alien?
Aliens, yes.
Why
aliens.
would it be Men in Black? They missed that completely.
But speaking of Will Smith, side note, because this is the Tangent podcast. Last night, I was out to dinner with my brother and grandfather, and Ryan gets a notification on his phone from Spotify that Will Smith is coming to Philly to perform live in concert.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Yes. And here's the thing. I said I would want good seats for that because, like, I'm not fucking nosebleeding that. So we look up seats. They're like $200 for, like, the front area, right? And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. But then Ryan sells me on it. He's like, whenever.
Start getting jiggy with it right in front of you.
Straight up, he was like, when are you ever going to see Will Smith in concert again? Because he had a brief stint when he did music back in the day before he took on acting. Then after that, didn't do music for a while. Now he's back. And not only is he back, he's in Philly.
Hometown.
Hometown concert. So that's a thing. And I might be going to it. And I think Ant might be too, but I don't know.
No, Will Smith's my guy, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'm I'm on top of this. I kind of want to go to this.
Yeah.
He should just be up there in his Men in Black suit the entire show.
Dude, there's got to be
and then neuralize the show after everybody after it's over.
I would love that. But yeah, that's a thing that's maybe happening and we might discuss at some point.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Field trip.
NGP field trip. Let's go see Will Smith together, everybody.
That's video
That'd be something that Ant could talk about in his other podcast too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have brought that up when you recorded. All right.
Slacking.
I know.
You guys got an email, right, that we could submit questions to?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll submit Little Jesus next time.
Don't do that, please.
Oh no.
Moving forward.
Oh no, is right.
Oh no. Jeff Keighley, we love this man. He's a gem. He tweeted out in 5 days, which is, when was this? A while ago. Fuck.
Gonna be
this
on
coming Wednesday. So if you're listening to this on Thursday and you're an audio amigo, hey, you missed it. If you're listening on Friday, you also missed it. Get wrecked. There is a stream of Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time where they're showing the reboot of the Saints Row series.
Yep.
Yeah. That's part of the pre-Gamescom thing, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm not sure. Is it all of Saints Row? Has anything else been leaked about this? Or is it just Saints Row as a blanket statement?
Yeah, a little bit kind of is that, there's rumors. There's a couple of rumors and there's a little bit of leaks. So what I'm understanding is based on the graphics alone that they've released, it looks like a Saints Row 1 and 2 kind of thing because it's more of like that gangster rip-off GTA style that they used to have.
Yeah.
Not the crazy "you're the president of the United States" with superpowers thing. Right?
That was my number 3, right? That was
3 is my favorite.
That's my favorite one with the bat, dude.
I'm with you.
3 was nuts.
So I'm understanding that it's more like 2 and 1, but then I've read that it's a reboot of like 2 and 3 specifically.
Interesting.
So
I mean,
don't know.
I'm down for it. Those games, I feel like they were like the fun version of GTA, if that makes sense. Like,
because it didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, because like GTA was just like, this is a hard story. Like, like this is an actual real story that's very much about like the gang warfare, blah, 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 or whatever the hell it's about. And then Saints Row was just like, yeah, we're goofy. We have a dildo bat. And then like, we're having a good time and shit. Like, but I liked that one more kind of, and I hate to say it, but like, I put way more hours into Saints Row the Third than I did of like San Andreas or anything like that.
Well, yeah, think about it. Like, when did you have the most fun playing a Grand Theft Auto game? When you put the cheat codes on and start flying around with the jetpack.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what their philosophy is with that series.
Although, to be fair, and this is going to be a very deep cut, if you remember it, in San Andreas, in the one police station, if you went down to the showers and got past the police, there was a dildo bat inside of the showers.
Yep. He's right.
Down there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, see, Christian, let me educate you, my friend. The whatever the Los Santos, whatever police department is in that, if you go into the main building and you can get past the cops to go all the way downstairs, in the back there's showers all the way downstairs in the back, and in the very last shower stall in the back there's a dildo bat that you can grab and wield. That's correct.
So they did it before the third.
Oh, it's yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. Doesn't negate your point.
It's not the same at all.
Telling you.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
It's just a melee item dildo versus an actual baseball bat that is a giant schlong. So
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just a little fun fact for you there.
Apparently, you were able to do that in Cyberpunk too, if you played the Rich storyline.
I don't know what game you're talking about.
Yeah, it's this like indie game that did terribly. But like if you played the Rich storyline, after like a sex scene that you have, you spawn with a dildo bat that's like this big, and it's just there in your hand, and that's one of your weapons after you perform this sex scene, and you just have it. But it's it's not awesome. It's bad because it's a bad game. But yeah, other than that, that's about all we had in the news section. And for
I think it wasn't a whole lot since our last recording.
True. Mm-hmm. There was that Call of Duty that was shown off. I don't know if anyone
Vanguard.
cares. Yeah, it's
looks
a lot
like
of
Call
the
of
same
Duty.
shit. Yeah. I'm
going
tired.
back to World War II, which they haven't done before.
Yeah,
right.
See,
what a groundbreaking thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm so confused why they keep going back to that. Like, I understand that it's good. Like, like the World War II era is a good era to be in and like play as, but like
for war, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, why are we not going towards futuristic shit? Like,
they did that too.
They can't.
But here's the thing. I liked that.
I would rather them go back there than go back to World War II. Go back.
They can't win though, because either way, people complain like us, which I agree that like we've been in World War II, man. Come on. But then there's people that are like, the futuristic stuff is stupid. We want boots on the ground, like in like warfare, right? And it's like,
that's so
if you remember that whole thing with them in like Battlefield the one year, and then like got dunked on or whatever. Yeah. But here's the thing. There's, besides the fact that we don't need another Call of Duty game, and I would love for them to go away for like a decade, there's like some interesting stuff around this game. First of all, Treyarch is doing the co-op mode, the zombies mode, right? In tandem with them. So Sledgehammer isn't developing it themselves. Sledgehammer was supposed to have last year's release, and they didn't. And apparently this game went through a lot of like not good stuff behind the scenes and was like in a really bad spot. And they did a whole round of hiring and like shifting people within internal studios to put them on this to finish it. So I'm sure it'll be fine and it'll sell really well, but I'm going to be interested to see like what comes out about it after the game comes out, and maybe some of these contracts and things like that, because it sounds like to me, for the first time in their history, Activision had a hard time meeting a deadline with this, which for the last 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, however long it's been, there's been a Call of Duty game every year.
Well, the one thing I'm excited for, and you mentioned it right there, is that Treyarch is doing the zombies, which we all know they do the best zombies mode in Call of Duty. And we're going back to World War II, which is where it all started for zombies.
Yeah.
So if they do, something there, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Call of Duty Zombies, so like that's awesome.
Mhm.
But I think that what this game really needs is it needs to find like not a subgenre, but it needs to find its thing. Because look at a game like Call of Duty World War II. I don't know if you guys played that, but
Slightly.
Briefly.
to me, I didn't finish it, so I probably played as much as you guys. But to me, what I got out of it was a World War II game, but it also was like more about the horrors of war. And specifically the zombies mode felt like I was playing a horror game, not so much just a co-op zombie shooter.
Mhm.
So I feel like if this game kind of did something like that, where it found its little niche, and it wasn't just a typical World War II shooter like Call of Duty World at War, and all of the Call of Duties that came out before Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
I think it could be cool and successful. But I doubt that's going to happen, and it's just going to be your typical World War II shooter.
Yeah. There is a campaign at least though, which I mean, I always play that campaign, so that's cool.
What
but like,
story is
what
there
else?
to tell there?
What else am I going to see there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the thing is what they really should do if they were smart is they would have their multiplayer, right? And they would just keep updating Warzone and doing that stuff, and like that's their bread and butter. But if they really wanted to get people on expand to a larger audiences, they would lean in to, like you just said, some of these more obscure war stories that they could tell of like the horrors of war, of telling alternate timelines where I don't know, like China starts World War III, or like do some of these other super interesting stuff.
I would really love an alternate timeline Call of Duty. I think that'd be a nice road for them to go down.
If you remember, Modern Warfare 2 did this,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? But I fear now they'll never do it again because A, it's not popular. B, they are, not to get like political, but like they have a lot of Chinese like ties and like these other like not so great governments funding them with stuff. And also, I just think that they probably would rather not rock the boat and keep making millions of dollars like they're going to anyway, because why
Play it safe.
fix it? Why change it if it's not broken? And they
Right.
And
also,
this isn't
No.
the first franchise that has had the idea of alternate timelines.
Right.
Homefront was literally an alternate timeline war game. Even Battlefield has experimented with it with Battlefield 1, right?
Mhm.
So even those franchises are like, this is a tired thing. Let's do something
Mhm.
different. But Call of Duty is just like, let's just keep marching on, doing our thing. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, like you said, if it ain't broke, they're going to go make
Yeah.
those millions.
Yeah.
true.
Speaking of it being broke, they did announce that they will be adding an anti-cheat to Warzone for PC. If anyone's been following that news, Warzone is pretty much unplayable right now with the amount of hackers that are there. I still think that it's not going to do shit. Like last week when we heard like a rumor that there was going to be an anti-cheat, Ant brought it up. It's like, what are your thoughts? I was like, it's fake. It's not going to happen. Even though they said it's happening, I still feel like it's not going to be good enough to like combat what all of these hackers have downloaded on their PCs and have been using, because there's so many different hacks that you can buy for cheap and just go in there. And then since it's still a free game, if you get caught, you just make a new email, make a new account. There's no skin off anyone's fucking like feet. Like I don't know if that's not a metaphor. I don't know where that
Skin off the
the back. I said feet. I don't know why. I was looking down.
Mm-hmm.
You and your
I think we
skinless
know
feet
why.
over there.
Yeah.
Fuck off. But no, I just don't think it's gonna do shit. Like I think the game has drowned and it's dead as of this point. Like you see the amount of content creators that aren't playing it anymore. Like pretty much everyone switched to Apex because they at least give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then now with Splitgate coming out and that being as good as it is, people are gonna start playing that too.
And then you
no
got Halo rounding the year out.
You got Halo,
Yep.
you got the new Battlefield. Like, there's so many better options than going back to Warzone. And I'd be shocked if that game lasts another 2 years.
They don't have an excuse to not be the best battle royale multiplayer in the business. They have umpteen studios. If they stop being so greedy and was like, okay, let's scale this back. Let's stop having all these studios work on different things simultaneously. Let's put it all towards this one really awesome free to play, super like monetized, where you can get millions and billions of dollars off of microtransactions and focus on it and make it the best that it can be. Because you're Call of Duty and you're Activision and you have means to, you're just stupid and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And I don't think it's really going to be viable for that long, because you look at Halo, it's going to be free to play. right?
Mm-hmm.
You have all these other things that are free to play. You're operating in the same space for a premium price point. You're going to fail.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to fail.
I agree.
So,
100%.
Yeah, and I read a rumor that apparently Activision was like, oh, we only let the cheating go on for so long because we were trying to capture all the different types of cheats. That way we could make an anti-cheat that encompassed all of it. Like, bro, this has been going on for far too long for that to be a viable excuse.
Right.
Come on.
At a certain point, you're just further annoying your player base.
I mean,
You're
they all
them
left.
entirely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I'm not excited for this new game. I still haven't bought the most recent Call of Duty that came out because I refused to buy it. And I don't want to. I don't have any reason to. I uninstalled Warzone when I got my PS5. I didn't even put it on there. I made sure to uninstall it from my PS4 just out of spite. So
yeah, Warzone runs terrible on console too. By the way.
Yeah, it's not.
And the new
fun
game
time.
is going to be like 270 gigs on console, which is like what?
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Well, there goes your entire PlayStation.
Yeah, and it's because of Warzone. I heard it's because Warzone is you have to download that with the game.
Because they have assets from like 18 different games now.
Yeah.
Well, really, it's like 2, but still, you know,
it's Modern Warfare and Cold War, right?
Yeah.
Western developers cannot fucking compress their file sizes, and it is infuriating.
Yeah.
Figure it out, dude.
You get a Japanese game and it's like 18 gigs. You're like, all right, cool.
Better go spend $600 on a new internal storage for your PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the news section. Thank you for giving your thoughts, guys, from Haptic. And now you're going to give your thoughts and personal opinions for the next section, in which we ask questions from our viewers in our Discord. Every week, I accidentally hit the @everyone and hit enter, and then delete that and do it again, and actually ask for questions. And here we go. We have 2 questions this week, one of which is actually in our Discord. The other one I think was meant for our Discord, but the person that sent it accidentally sent it in our other Discord, I think, because she was inebriated when we were playing Sea of Thieves.
Discordception.
Yeah.
So there's that. But we'll go from...
When
yeah.
she there.
I saw that and I was like, she was drinking last night. She probably put in the wrong one. It's fine. We'll still answer it. First up, we have Tuscan Sun, which is a loyal listener to the show, Trevor. And his question is, what genre/theme from movies do you think needs to be explored more in video games? And that hasn't been yet. I know you guys are big movie guys, obviously.
Yeah.
From
one thing,
Rucking Fountain shirts.
Yeah. The one thing that comes to mind right away, it's something that has been done but needs to be done more often, and it's single shot takes where the whole game is shot in one take.
Mm-hmm.
God of War is the best example of this. The whole game is one take. There's no loading screens. They hide it all. That's something that, just makes sense for gaming specifically. With movies, it's a lot harder to accomplish that. We saw it with the TV show Haunting of Hill House. They did a really great one. There's that famous Jim Carrey show. Christian, you know the name of it.
Oh yeah, I watched the first season. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, he plays like a Mr. Rogers character, and they do this whole scene that's one shot. And the behind the scenes video of it, you see people like grabbing things and moving it when the camera's not there and swapping the scene out. So it's so much easier to do that in video games when you can just load shit in and out, right? So
Kidding is the show.
There you go.
Kidding.
I like
that
good
show. Very, very good.
That is a fantastic question. Is it just movies, or could I use a TV show example as well?
You can use whatever you want. We are very loose here, so you can choose everything.
So, because there's a lot of movies, and I could probably go down a deep rabbit hole with that. But, and I will. Actually, I'm going to give you 2 now. Sorry.
Take the.
But first, the TV shows. I just finished watching The Leftovers. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It was an HBO show where like 2% of the world's population disappears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the last season, towards the very end, they have this whole episode where there's a trope, right? There is a parallel, like purgatory type world, and this character that goes into the world is like multiple different people, right? Inhabits like multiple different people. That was weird. Multiple different people. And how he switches between the different characters is he has to look at his reflection in a mirror or a reflective surface, and he transports to another character in a completely different part of this world. So I was watching this, I was like, this would be such a cool video game concept if you literally every time you looked at a reflection, you became a different character or you transported to a different character, and you had to be intentional with like who you're switching to or what mirror you're looking into to become a different character, because his shtick was that he was an international assassins having to complete these different things, and he was like undercover as like the president of the United States. Like he had all these different things that he was, and every time he wanted to accomplish something, he had to look in a reflection and switch to another character. And I was like, this is such a unique concept that
really cool.
would work really well in video games.
I like,
It's like a GTA 5 type of thing.
I was about to say the exact same thing. I was like, it reminds me of GTA 5, but a little bit more complex. And
Yeah, but like because there would be like a puzzle solving element to it. And it's like, well, if I look in this type of reflection, I become this character, but I don't want to do that because I want to accomplish this other thing. So I have to go do this thing. Like, I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And then the other one I thought of is that I'm really into giallo movies, which are like Italian horror movies where there's like a killer, right? But there's like these tropes where the killer always wears black gloves, a black cloak, a black hat, and like it's always usually focused against like a woman, and like there's like very specific like markers of like what makes a giallo. And I would love to see really strict genre, like horror genre things, like subgenres explored in video games, where it's not just like survival horror, it's not just like jump scare city, and you explore these very specific subgenres of horror that would work really well in video games, but like are not typical horror video games.
Yeah,
you know
you only get that right now with like Puppet Combo, the guy who makes those PS1 PC games. Like he's the only guy right now that does stuff like that.
Right. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Me
That's
too.
cool. For me, I don't know, because like I'm very simple when it comes to movies. Like I'll kind of just like take suggestions and I'll just like watch, and then I'm also the simple cuck that'll be like, yeah, Marvel movies and shit like that.
They don't have any of those games.
I was gonna say like I want more, but at the same time we have a lot. It's just that I don't like the ones that we have. In general, I'd like to have a lot more kung fu games, like of like old kung fu movies. Like I want like a Drunken Master game, if that makes sense. Like I just want to do that more.
How to get Sifu?
Yeah, kind of, but that got pushed back.
I was gonna say that game, and then the game that the developers made before that is like that as well.
Yeah, but like we don't see like just like straight up hand-to-hand combat games really that much anymore. It's always like you have like a sword or a gun or like a battle axe or a lightsaber, but like it's never ever like hand or a dildo bat. Yeah, like you never see like hand-to-hand combat games anymore, or like something like that, or like I don't know. I'd like to see more stuff like that, because I love watching kung fu movies, and like, you know, like the wired trick bullshit that they do where they jump like high as fuck and it's, you know, not actually a thing that happens, and like you can kick someone mid out of the air and they go flying. And then there's some of the hard hits that happen, and like with like the stunt doubles that they leave in, and you could leave it fully in the games, obviously. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see more kung fu stuff, like John Wick, but kung fu.
That's a good one. I think the movie, I had to really think about this because I didn't see this question on here until you brought it up just now, so I had to kind of like really think while you guys were talking. But
same.
I'm thinking of what's that Denzel Washington movie, The Equalizer, where he's about to start I guess, fighting people, he sets his clock and he tries to beat his time. And I would love a game in that style where whenever you enter like a room, you have to find the most optimum way to defeat everybody in the room. And it could have a campaign, but you could also have like a mode where you're just trying to consistently beat your time. And I think
it's like Hotline Miami a little bit, but but better.
Like third person action kind of game.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Doing like the Sherlock Holmes thing from like the Robert Downey Jr. one, like clavicle, this, that, this, that. And then like he plays it fast as fuck.
You can like, maybe you can survey the room before you start fighting. You see all the items that are in it. Like, how can I use everything in this room to beat it in an optimal time?
I like that. Nice.
I had an idea for another one.
All right.
It's something that I've actually thought about a lot. I don't know why it didn't come to me right away, but there needs to be more giant monster kaiju games.
I was thinking that.
Where are those games? Now that you bring that up.
Because I was going to bring up Evangelion, that new movie that came out. And like, I don't know any. of those
So
games.
there's one that I know of on PlayStation 4, and it's Japanese only. And you play as like a guy, and you're trying to like get out of the city with your girlfriend as the city is like falling apart by like monsters attacking. And they actually did crossovers with different popular franchises like Evangelion, Godzilla, and stuff. And there's like guest monsters and stuff like that.
What was that one movie? Cloverfield, right?
Yeah.
Dude, why don't we have a Cloverfield game? That should be the next in that installment after the one movie on Netflix failed.
Yeah. We've talked about this on our podcast because Bad Robot actually has a games division now. And we had a whole video speculating on like what the hell would they be making, and we think a Cloverfield game would be perfect.
That would fit so perfectly in that world.
It would.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be dope.
There is, and I'm saying this because I'm a super big RPG fan and like a JRPG fan, but also obviously a Western RPG. I think that genre, right, the depth that RPGs can offer is like criminally underutilized in video games. And I know we have so many RPGs, but it's like if you really had the balls and the guts and the money and the time, you could make a super deep RPG, like thinking of like Eva, like, or Ava. If I could be like an Ava pilot, but it's an RPG and like you like involved in your own story based off of that, like people just, I feel like have not thought out of the box with RPGs, and I don't have a good answer for it, but like that is a criminally underutilized genre of video games where there is so many of them, but none of them are really as deep as they probably could be.
It's stagnant. They like figured out how to do it, and they were like, we're just gonna keep doing it this way.
Yeah. Stick to the formula, make your money. But yeah, thank you, Tuscan Sun, in the Discord for that. We very much appreciate it. Thank you. If you'd like to submit your questions, do it in our Discord or out our email. Second question, which is more getting to know everybody in the lobby. This comes from XOXO Yuki, which we think it was meant for our chat, but we're going to use it anyway because it's a good question. She says, what video game do you think is the best representation of who you are? Like, if we wanted to know you as who you are, what game would you use to describe yourself? And what character would you say you are most like, or favorite character from that game? So, yeah, that.
It's a tough one. I wish you would have told us that beforehand.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a second because mine, I discussed this with my brother. We went to go get haircuts today because I've been wearing this hat for 3 weeks and needed one. Stanley Parable.
Are you Stanley or the narrator?
I'm Stanley.
Okay.
Because, like, I narrate in my head a lot that shit. And I realized it recently a lot. Like, when you work in a job with, like, a cubicle and, like, you know, it's monotonous. And you do the same shit in and out and every single week. Like, I feel like I'm Neo in the Matrix. It's just that I'm not getting the fucking call in the box, you know? Like, I'm not getting that shit. But, like, I, like, narrate shit in my head. Like, oh, yes, he walks into the bathroom and he notices that the big stall is taken. So now he has to awkwardly walk out and not be seen by anybody. Because then it looks weird that he walked in and out for some reason. And I do this a lot.
In a perfect world, I would just imagine you saying all that out loud in a bathroom at your job.
He pulls out his penis and begins to urinate in the toilet.
He scrolls on TikTok for 30 minutes when he should probably in his chair.
Someone bangs the call like, shut the fuck up.
But no, like, I like, seriously, I feel like I'm Stanley in Stanley Parable, like, where I'm not important, but I'm there, and then I'm narrating my own life and shit, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know I'm not the main character, I'm definitely an NPC, like, free guy, #ad. But, you know, like, I would definitely say Stanley Parable. It's one of those things where, like, you fall into monotony over time, and, like, I'm definitely in that stage of my life of, like, where it's, like, nothing really serious is happening yet, but you're in that, you know, that formula, and you're just, like, going through that cycle over and over again, and personally, I just have, you know, like, the whole Randy Orton bullshit with the voices in my head shit going on, so, you know, here we are. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Very nice.
I'm trying to think. I think for me, it would be, I don't have a character specifically or a game specifically, but maybe like any kind of JRPG or I don't know, like a Zelda, anything that has a million side quests, that's me. Because I feel like my week is dictated by the laundry list of things I have to do before I can attack the main quest. And that's like my life in a nutshell.
That's a good one, actually.
Metaphors.
That's what it's
All right.
about.
Josh, what do you got?
I don't know. I thought of a couple different ones, but I think the one I'm going to settle on, just because it's also maybe one of the more recent ones that I identified with, which might surprise you. But Jessie Faden from Control. I know she's a woman, obviously, and I'm not, but still. She is in charge of this huge thing, right? As I have in my life, I've been in charge of a lot of things that I really didn't necessarily want to be in charge of, that I kind of fell into and had to like take the reins on, that I've learned a lot from, but that I ultimately didn't want to be doing. And I keep getting distracted by having to like do those things because they're super time consuming. But really, at the end of the day, I just want to get out of it and like go do my own thing, which is like like literally like a very watered down version of the narrative of Control. And like weird shit happens that I don't want to deal with, but I have to. I'm in charge of people that, this is gonna make me sound so terrible. I'm in charge of people that I don't really care about, but I have to do it because they need somebody to like help them with things. And like I keep getting distracted by all of these things that I really don't want to do, and I just want to leave the building.
I'm gonna take your answer now.
No, that's very good. It didn't sound bad, by the way, as well. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if they're listening, they're going to be like, "What the fuck?" But at the same time, like,
Yeah.
you're just spitting facts right now.
Yeah.
What game do you think resonates like who you are as a person? Like, if you could pick one game, that was part of the question, right?
Yeah. I don't think that game really resonates. I think Jesse. I think a game maybe more so would be like another Control or Remedy game, like Alan Wake, right? Like an artist who is also stuck in this place where he doesn't want to be, and he just wants to go do his own thing, but he keeps just getting distracted by shit that he doesn't want to deal with, and people are really abysmal and full of darkness, and you hate them, and you like just don't care and really want to move away and continue with creating your own art, but you can't because life.
Yeah.
Life be lifing.
Yeah.
For me,
So-
I think,
2K
everyone.
Battlegrounds.
No. Everybody likes to think that they're the Peter Parker, right? Like at first you're like, "Oh, I'm the Peter Parker. I'm the Spider-Man of this world." But I think the one that, it's funny because Josh said a bunch of Remedy games, and I think mine is Quantum Break. The main character, he has a bunch of friends, and specifically the one guy, he's like working at a college, and he does something great. He basically discovers time travel. And I feel like that's me. I just have a bunch of friends, and I'm waiting for them to do like great things so I can experience it with them. And they're going to give me superpowers with their great things. That's kind of what came to me first.
I
And
like
then
that.
in terms of like what game, I would say is me, like if you play this game, it's the quintessential Brett Roberts game. I say it all the time. It's my favorite game, Shadows of the Damned. And it's my favorite game because it is the quintessential Brett Roberts game. I felt like it was made for me. It's a perfect blend of horror and comedy and dick jokes, and it's just me, man. So if you haven't played it, Suda51 EA Grasshopper manufacturer, it is Shadows of the Damned. So
I've been wanting to play that game. I remember you told
like
me
it,
about
dude.
it in college, and I was like,
yeah,
"What is this?" And I watched like 2 videos, and I was like, "This is dope."
it's
So-
not the best game, but it's my favorite game. It's very much inspired by Resident Evil 4, which is another reason why it's a quintessential Brett Roberts game. And it's got like Evil Dead references and, like I said, dick jokes and poop jokes and fart jokes. So the gun you use is literally called Johnson, which is a dick joke, and then he upgrades to the boner, and then he upgrades to the big boner. So
nice.
Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah!
Not the big boner, the game.
I am the big boner.
Hey, take the credit.
I
Is
mean,
the
if I had
title of
one
the
right now,
episode,
that'd be
Amp?
kind of weird, but yeah.
Not on this show. Wouldn't.
Yes. Well, what better way to end the Say Before Quitting show than on a boner joke? Honestly, it's the only
Right.
way to end it.
Only way.
As always, you can reach Haptic Intel on their YouTube channel /Haptic Intel, right? You guys, you got
Yep.
that? Hell yeah.
Mhm.
And then you can also find them on Twitter and all their other contacts on Twitter. I think it's at Haptic Intel for you, the main channel, and then at Brett Rob, and then at Josh Toll, or is it
They're
different?
at Josh HPTC.
Josh HPTC. You'll see it on the screen if you're a video person. If you're not, you'll see it in the description. Read some shit. And as for
Let them know,
us,
Chris. Read some shit.
read some shit. I don't do that, but it's fine. As always, you can find us at Say Before Quitting, letter B, number 4,
Mhm.
quitting. on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and you can follow us on YouTube for the video versions of the podcast and games. The Titty. And you can also shoot us an email, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out, @gmail.com for your questions to be answered at the end of each of the podcasts. We'll shout you out. You can also go to our website, pick up the merch. It's fully spelled out again, .com, and we'll shout you out on the YouTube videos. And if you buy it while we're live on Twitch, it'll show up on the screen like, hey, you bought something. Look at that. That's kind of neat. And yeah, would like to thank you guys for coming on and having us 2 weeks ago.
Thank
it was
you.
a great time.
Absolutely.
Thank you
for having us on.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on our podcast.
Yeah,
Of course.
it was very fun. Sorry for keeping you for a long time. It's almost 2 hours, but Ant has some shit to get done at 5, so we got some time to chill. But either way, you can always follow us everywhere you want. I don't know what to do to end this show.
Yeah, I'm about to say you're short circuiting right now. What's
I
happening?
am. I'm having a stroke.
Boner.
There we go.
And before you
Boner
get
cast.
a boner, you can always save
Before quitting.
There it is.
Before you get the boner.
Say before you get a boner, yeah.
Save the boner before quitting.
All right.
Come.
All right.
And everyone could stop recording now.